Hello and welcome back to our YouTube video, and today we've got something rather special for you. We're on board this 2018 Sunseeker Manhattan 52, supplied by us from you, and we're in this beautiful February sunshine. So come with me on a full tour. We're going to look at all the extras on board this boat, including demonstrating to you just how good the gyro is. So come with me on this journey. Let's go. You've seen our intro, and we're now out on the water. We're underneath the cliffs here of Gibraltar, and it's a great opportunity to be on board this lovely Manhattan and show you some of the features on board this particular boat. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, this is a 2018 boat which was supplied by myself to the owner back then, so it's a one owner boat, and it's got a really nice spec. So like I said, it's an 18 boat. There's a third station, so we've got the third station control unit in there. Obviously there are a few of the owner's personal belongings on board, but it's nice to see that it's got the third station. You might have spotted the Zenta joystick in there as well, and what we'll do is we'll talk about that in a bit more detail as we head towards the helm. But oh, sorry, the door swung open there. What I want to show you, one of the reasons for coming out on board this boat today was because she's actually got a gyro. Now, she's got a Seakeeper 6, which is a slightly later version than some of the earlier boats, and there was a bit of swell here. There was actually a stormer here yesterday, so it's quite good for you to see how the boat's stable, and I can assure you there's a bit of swell here, and having that gyro on is making such a difference. Yes, we've got the generator on to run the gyro, but it's very quiet on board, so it's not an issue. But what's so great on these Manhattan 52s is just this aft cockpit space. There's so much room out here. No doubt if you've been looking at 52 Manhattans, you'll have really invested some time in looking at what this area can do. We of course have got the flip over countertop here on the electric window, so if I can push the button up here, you can see that window goes up. So if you want to enclose that area, whether to keep it cool or you want to keep it warm, or obviously when you're securing the boat, you can. This has got the optional bar stools as well. This wasn't a standard feature on the 52s, so this has got the bar stools, and this boat originally was fitted with the upgraded Diamante seating. Now, some of the seating upstairs does need a little bit of attention, but it's not terrible, just on the corners, but overall it's in very good condition, as it's only had light use. We've got teak cockpit here in the aft deck, but before we go up on the flybridge, let's go into this saloon and just have a look at what we've got in here. So in here, we've got this lovely, light, airy saloon. I haven't even got the lights on in here, but I'll turn those lights on, it gets even brighter. Now, the 52 has got these magnificent windows, as no doubt you've seen. I've got the port side blinds down just to give you a bit of a feel of what the blinds are like. But what I love on this boat as well is it's got the hardwood flooring. The galley itself has got full equipment. We've got storage in here. We've got the dishwasher. The earlier boats had the Fisher Paykel drawer dishwasher, whereas these later boats actually had the slimline Melier dishwasher, which is really nice. It's got a little half moon clasp there just to keep that shut when you're underway. The Manhattan 52's control centre, main control centre, is actually located back here at the area of the galley. So you've got two air controlling units here, but you can see here we can start and stop the generator. I can go back home. We'll look at that in a bit more detail when we get up to the lower helm, some of the functions. But on here you can start to see any alarms on board. You can control the bilge pumps, you can control black tank pump out, check fuel tank level, etc, etc. So it's a really, really useful part of the boat. So the owner of this boat changed the original fridge layout where it was one large fridge and actually changed to two single fridges. So the advantage being you can obviously separate your drinks out and treats in there, but that's a slightly different version to what you may have seen on other boats. You've also then got some additional storage up here above the fridges, so you've got some cups in there, and that was a feature we actually put in for the owner of this particular boat, utilising that sort of wasted space. Starboard side here of the galley, you've got this lovely serving area. You've got the wine cooler there, the Vitrofilo wine cooler, and then in these units here you've got an ice maker, and then you've also got your main stereo controls here. But just look at that window. If I just step out of the way a minute, we bring the camera in, look at the views outside that window. It's February here, I think it's February the 3rd or 4th, and it is just magnificent. It's lovely and warm in here as well with those windows. In the summer, you do of course have that fantastic air conditioning system to keep this area cool. Seating wise, you've got so much seating on the 52s. You've got the starboard side seating here, which faces the port side seating, but it just gives you so much room for your guests to sit, relax. This particular boat's finished with the leather seating, so it's easy to maintain, and we've also got the hardwood flooring upgrade. So we upgraded this boat to the hardwood flooring here in the upper saloon, just giving you that bit more practicality when you're out on the water. What we're going to do in a minute is we're going to go and have a look at the upper helm. But just while we're down here at the saloon, let's just have a quick look through what we've got down at the lower helm. So we've got the twin Simrad screens. You can see here on the port side we've got the stern facing camera. You can see the captain who's upstairs has just put us underway, just because we're not anchored here. And on the starboard side here we've got the Simrad screen. We've shown the Navionics card, and you can see the boat's trips around here to jib. You've got proportional bow and stern thrusters on here, and then down here, as I mentioned, down at the third helm, you've got the Zenta joystick. Now the Zenta joystick is a great system for manoeuvring the boat, and that incorporates both the bow and stern thrusters and the engines in order to give you joystick control. I mentioned the gyro, the Seakeeper gyro, so we've got the Seakeeper gyro working here, the control panel for which is down here at the lower helm. There isn't a control unit at the upper helm, it is only down here at the lower helm. Autopilot control, not an auto at the moment, and then you've got horn brightness controls for the dimmers on the dash, and then you've got a repeater for that main boat display screen control panel here. So slightly smaller version than I showed you back there at the galley, but here you've got fuel, water, bilge, turn on off status, and then any alarms as well. So it's great to be able to get that quick reference point of any data. So as it's so nice up there, I think it's about time we went up top and had a look at that flybridge. Let's go. So we've got the stairs here in the aft cockpit, nice teak finish stairs, easy depth stair treads as well, so good handrail as well there. And once you're up here, you've got this magnificent seating space here. You can see we've got all the cushions out this morning. We've got the bimini, which I want to just point out is hydraulic bimini, which was an upgrade from when we supplied the boat new, and we've got that up in place this morning just to give you a feel for it. The flybridge on the 52, if you've not been on one before, you really need to be on one to experience, to appreciate just how big it is. You can see why this boat sold so well, because it is just absolutely game changer up here in space wise. You can see here we've got Adrian, who's our kind skipper today. So Adrian's keeping watch on station for us here just while we're out on the water, but it gives you a sense, there's three of us up here, just how much space there is. Behind me here you've got this fabulous C-shaped seating area, and this has got a folding table. So here we've got this lovely teak folding table. This can all be covered up, so this is always normally covered up, and it's protecting it. As I mentioned, there are a couple of bits on the upholstery, but overall I would say it's in very good condition. We've got the radar scanner here as well, so the boat does have radar, Simrad radar, and you can see the twin whip aerials there for the AIS system as well. Teak flybridge, which again was an upgrade from new, but a really nice upgrade to have. And then here on the wet bar, you've got the electric griddle with the cool box, and then underneath here we've got some storage behind these teak doors there, so great place to keep some cups. There's actually a gentleman's got some cutlery up here as well, so it's a great place to store some kit. I've left this director's chair up here just to give you a feel, so that if you are using this area up here for dining, you could easily seat 6 people on that rear section, and then a couple more people on director's chairs this side, so that works really, really well. Up here at the forward side of the flybridge, you've got this another huge seating section. Probably one of the only 52s I've ever seen with the optional coffee table on the flybridge helm. Flybridge, I should say, sorry, not helm. This was fitted from the factory from new, and the owner liked this because it's a nice place to sit, pop your drink, or have a coffee or whatever in the morning. That bimini comes pretty much all the way forward. Not as far forward as the non-hydraulic version, but it actually has a nicer profile to it being a hydraulic version as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to jump up at the helm with Adrian, because I'd like to just come sit here on that bolster seat, which I pulled down. And Adrian, I mean, you've known this boat for a few years, haven't you?
Yep.
And Adrian's kindly sort of got the gyro, I think, wound up for us this morning. And it's amazing, I was just saying to everybody on the video a minute ago, we went just the other side of Gibraltar Point there, didn't we? And
yeah.
It's pretty lumpy out there. So lumpy we couldn't actually get the drone in the air, sadly. We're going to do some bit more filming later, but it's amazing how that gyro really does keep the boat level. I mean, here now, it's up on the flybridge, obviously we're slightly higher from the water level, and that gyro is keeping the boat lovely and steady. As with the lower helm, we've got a full suite of navigation equipment here. We've got the twin Simrad screens, we've got the Simrad repeaters for data here as well, so you can select on here what you want to see. You can do different page, you can see small amount of tide here, boat speed, any AIS targets. Adrian's just showing us here as well, we can put that flybridge stern facing camera on as well on the flybridge, so when you're manoeuvring, really great control there as well. Down here on the switch gear, you can see the helm up here is in great condition. It's been well cared for. This is actually an old unit that's been swapped out there. We've left that there. It doesn't do anything, but that's been replaced here. autopilot control, and you can see Adrian here, we're neutral. You've got the engine controls here, and then you've got a third Zenta joystick. So if you do want to use the joystick from the Flybridge, then you can. So do you enjoy driving this boat, Adrian?
I do.
Yeah? Good. All right, well, thank you for looking after us this morning. Other quick point to mention is on the Flybridge you've got that sunbathing area in front of the windscreen, or after the windscreen I should say, so it's quite nice there, just giving you that bit of sunbathing space on the Flybridge. What I want to do now is just demonstrate to you how easy it is to get up onto that foredeck and enjoy that lovely space. So let's go and have a look at the foredeck. Before I jump up on the foredeck, let's just have a quick chat about here, what we've got going on down here. We've got the boat's passerelle control, so the boat has a hydraulic passerelle which comes out from just underneath the step here, and we also have the hydraulic platform. I mentioned the hydraulic platform on my intro, you saw the jet rib, but that's the controls for it. We've also got stern winches, so again an upgrade from new, but really, really vital if you are doing mid-mooring. Let's go and have a look at the foredeck. I've taken my gilet off, it's so warm. Teak side decks, and then you've got this really nice grab rail here, which is an additional extra, but really nice. It gives you that sense of security walking up forward. Nice high pulpit rail as you come up here, and then as you'll find, you've got this amazing forward deck area. Now don't forget, this was one of the very first boats in its class to have such an area up here, and it's transformed the way you can use this space. All of a sudden it's become a completely separate area for guests to relax, to enjoy, whether out on the water or back in the marina. This again is all covered up with the owner's kindly had his chap uncover it for us this morning, but this is normally all covered up, and it's protected really nicely. But it's a great space. You've got separate audio speakers up here, you've got controls here for the anchor winch as well, and you've got the huge windows letting lots of natural light into that forward cabin. We're going to go and look at that forward cabin in a bit when we go back into the marina, but I just wanted to demonstrate to you how usable this space is. Also, you can see again with the gyro, yes there's a bit of movement, but it's a lot more stable up here than it would be without that gyro on, so really, really important bit of kit. Right, I'm going to walk back down the port side just to show you again how easy it is to walk around this boat. We've got a lovely grab rail here to hold on to, and as soon as I get to this point here, I've got this other rail, so I've got 3 points of contact at any one time. And then I've got a couple of steps down here now back into the aft cockpit. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to start heading back towards the marina. We're going to tie up, and then we're going to have a look in the cabins, give you a feel for what they're like. So keep watching, and we'll have a little bit of a video now as we cruise back towards Ocean Village Marina in Gibraltar. Let's go. So we're just on our way back now into the marina here in Gib, and you can see we're cruising along here, and I just wanted to do a bit of footage just showing you what the boat's like at cruise. We're not doing huge amounts of speed here, just go down to the lower helm and see what we're up to. We are doing 15, 16 knots over the ground, so just accept that on there. So you can see our chart plotter there. Obviously the guys are navigating from up top, but I'm down at the lower helm. You can see here we've got the engine hours, so the boat's done 270 hours. You can see here the fuel economy is 6 litres per nautical mile. I can actually click on here to go through different things here if I want to. Total fuel burn rate 190 litres an hour, so that's combined. So each engine's burning about 90, 100 litres an hour ish at cruise. The boat's probably a bit weeded up. She hasn't been out. I know she was out the water before Christmas, so it's not too bad. But there will be a bit of weed on there. It hasn't been used that recently, but it gives you an idea of what it's like. So let's head up to the upper helm. Is Nathan getting a bit for the gram? Nathan getting a bit for the gram?
Getting a bit for the Instagram, you know. Show them travel.
We're headed back up now to the Flybridge. So you can see here, hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. You've got great visibility up here, and that's one of the big benefits of a Flybridge, is the visibility is just amazing. You see here Adrian's pretty much biased on the starboard side of the Flybridge, so you can see that he's got great visibility as we approach the marinas here down in Gib. You can see here the commercial shipping out on our port side, and then actually the Atlas Mountains over there towards Africa. So very, very cool to be out here. But again, once again, just look at that amazing position there at the aft of the Flybridge, just how nice that area is. Okay, yes, it's chilly this time of year, but imagine being out here in the summer with high temperatures, you know, relaxing whilst under passage. Really, really nice space to be. So we're going to head back in now. We're heading back up here past the breakwater. So let's go and see what the marina's like. We've made it safely back in to Ocean Village Marina here in Gib. It's a lot quieter because the engines are off, so it's the perfect opportunity to show you the cabins on board this 52. Now, we've done a bit of titivating, but not much. The boat's very empty. There's not huge amounts of personal belongings on board down in the cabins. I want to start by showing the forward VIP, so come with me, let's go and have a look in here. Now, as I mentioned, we supplied this boat from new and it was a brand new build, so the owner actually was quite involved with the colour schemes. His wife was particularly involved with choosing the bed covers and that type of thing, so she shows really nicely. It's been really well thought through. You've got the lovely oak finish, silver oak finish on the cabinetry, lots of storage in here around the top boxes. I mentioned earlier on the foredeck that large deck light. There is a marking on that blind, but we can look at getting a new one for you up there. Carpet's all in great condition. You've got this small vanity area behind me, and this is of course also a air conditioned area. So the air conditioning isn't on today because we don't need it, but the air conditioning is in this area as well. So there's some storage in here. You can see there is a few bits and pieces in there, and on the other side we've got a walk-in wardrobe, a hanging wardrobe space. Come with me now, we'll go and have a look at the guest cabin. So the guest cabin is a really nice sized twin. These large hull windows, which you'll no doubt seen in that intro footage, let so much light into the cabin. I mean, we're on a pontoon berth. We've got, we don't have a boat next to us, but just look about the amount of light, natural light coming into this cabin. Great head height in here as well. And you've also got pretty good storage in here with these top boxes and a hanging wardrobe in here as well, which is all lit. Very nice indeed. Now, this isn't an ensuite cabin. I should have mentioned that the forward cabin is an ensuite cabin. Now, the ensuite cabin is shared as the day heads. So if I just come into the day heads here, you'll see it's a good size. Nathan's gone, oh, Jack and Jill, look at that. I've gone one door and Nathan's coming the other. But you can see here we've got a Jack and Jill arrangement on the doors. And this is a nice size day heads and ensuite to the forward cabin. Great walk-in shower with a rainfall shower up on the ceiling, and you can see here there's plenty of space to move around, great head height, and again that huge hull window letting lots of natural light into here. So a really, really nice ensuite / day heads. Now, what sold this boat so well when it was in build was just this master cabin. Walking down into the master cabin, it's really just a couple of steps down in here, and then you're presented with this fantastic cabin. It really is fantastic. I've said fantastic a lot there, but it is. You've got great head height in here, you've got lots of beam, it's a full width berth, obviously full beam of berth. You've got lovely headlining choices, lovely headboard choices, fabrics, very neutral. And then you've got great storage on that starboard side as well, so lots of storage in those cupboards. You've got the TV pack in here. I didn't mention earlier on, there is the Rise and Fall TV up in the saloon, which I forgot to mention, so apologies, but it is up there. And then on the starboard side here, port side, I forgot which way we are now, we've got this really nice dinette like cafe seating area here as well, which is superb and a great space to sit and relax. Clever use of mirrors in here. You've got these two mirrors either side of the bed there, reflecting all that light from those huge hull windows. So let's venture back up now. Before I do, let's just mention the ensuite to the master cabin. Slightly smaller than the day heads, but still very usable with a walk-in shower, and again a nice size window in there letting lots of natural light in. Boat feels very clean, tidy. You can tell it's been looked after. And the boat's not seen huge amounts of use, I have to admit, but hopefully this little walkthrough of the cabins gives you an idea of the space. Now, whilst we've been doing the cabins, the captains have very kindly put the boat to sleep for us. So up here, the seating has now been put in its extended version, or scenario, so the helm seat's actually been tilted forward. If you didn't know this about the 52, then it is a feature, so it allows you to tip the helm seats forward, and what that does is then extends this seating area, so you can see now you've got that extra bit of seating. The Rise and Fall TV I just mentioned is in here, so that is operated via a remote control somewhere, which I don't quite know where that is at the moment, but there is a Rise and Fall television in there. Oh, and there's a button here as well on this one, so you can see here, I just push that there, Samsung Smart TV very nicely pops up. And that's a nice feature if you do want to use this area for relaxing, watch a movie or whatever, and then you've got the speakers in the ceiling. I won't bore you with putting that all the way up, but you've seen that as a Rise and Fall TV. Now the engine hatch is open. I just want to show you quickly inside the engine hatch. There's nobody else on board, so we know no one's going to fall in there, it's just Nathan and I. But let's jump down there and we'll go and have a look at the engine space. I've just taken the camera from Nathan a minute just to give you a point of view really. So you've got a nice gradual ladder coming into the engine room space. The noise you can hear in the background is the gyro cooling down. So what happens with a gyro, there's a process you go through for warm up and cool down. So it's all automatic, so when you press power on, the gyro spins up to speed and it won't actually engage until such time that it's up to speed. Obviously when you come back into the marina, it takes a bit of time to cool down. So here we've got the generator. Because it's a gyro boat, the generator's on these stilts, so you can see it's pushed up there. So the generator's up there. I'm not sure on the hours, but I imagine it's very low. Engines are the D11 725s, which is what you see in the majority of 52s. Obviously some of the 52s are IPS, but the majority are shaft drive, and this is a shaft drive Volvo Penta D11 725s. So expect speed sort of circa 30 knots, so it's more than fast enough. Engine room looks very tidy. You've got outbound fuel tanks, you've got the centre control box there, and then here you've got the boat's control panel. So you can see here there's the domestic battery side, so everything's nicely labelled there with breakers, and you can see here there's even more there as well, and more, but I won't bore you with going through all of those. Obviously, if you are going to buy the boat or look interested in buying the boat, we can have one of our engineers go through all of the systems on board with you to give you some more training. Back down here there's a bit of a secret storage space. That there is your cushions for the foredeck. So that table up on the foredeck does fold down and it creates a sun pad. So that's the cushions for there. And then you've got some of the boat's original equipment here. You've got the original toolkit that came with the boat. You've got some manuals and bits and pieces. So a nice example of this super popular model. You see here, just come back up into the aft cockpit. I didn't mention earlier on the privacy screen. So we supply these quite often for med boats. Now the advantage of this is it gives you a bit of privacy. You can see here if someone's up there, it's harder to see in, and also gives you a bit of shade. Before I finish this video, I have to show you the crew cabin on the 52. So great access for the crew cabin. This door here on the transom, push a button, it just opens. And the crew cabin itself is a single berth crew cab. You've got the washer dryer in there, where you've got some bits of equipment stored. That's the shower and toilet area. And then you can see here you've got the single berth cabin with the countertop mounted sink, and also said the washer dryer in there as well. On the transom, on the platform, we've got a Williams 285. I'm pretty sure that this will be part of the negotiations on the boat. It's been looked after. It actually came from the owner's previous boat, hence why it's a 285, not a 325. But it sits nicely there on the stern, and it gives you good access. By being that bit smaller than a 325, gives you plenty of access on the starboard side there. I mentioned the passerelle. You can just see the passerelle envelope box there, and then you're back on shore power now, so that's where the shore power goes. On the starboard side here, this is just a small storage area, which may not open because the tender's on, but that's just a small storage area there. So hopefully, that's been quite a long video, but hopefully you've enjoyed it, and you can see why this 52 Manhattan was such a popular model and still continues to be such a popular model. Like I say, we're back here by the runway in Gibraltar. Screen covers on now on the windscreen. Gentleman's going to come back and put the covers on. But I'd like to thank you for watching this. I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. And of course, if you're interested in this particular boat, please do look below. The details are in the description. Love to hear from you, and I'd love to talk to you more about 52s. If you're interested in a boat in the UK, I do currently have a really nice 52 UK spec available as well. So I've got two 52s, one in the Med, one in the UK. So contact me now for more details. See you again soon.